Today I will be reading the fanfiction Young Tale, a story about Yuri Charfrisk by Fedora Guy. This is dedicated to the translator Snooky. Please let me out of your basement. Chapter 1. Do you want to have a bad time? Frisk had come out of school and wanted to come back home with her parents and brother today. It was not the best day at school. Many of her schoolmates called her a furry, amongst other things. Also, she botched her math test. Before leaving, she had to go pick up Azrael on his institute once. She arrived. She didn't find anything good. A group of 10 human were hunting him, and he wouldn't defend himself. That bothered Frisk. "Hey, you, step away from my brother," said Frisk, approaching them. "Look, boy, it's that furry come to protect his stupid goat brother," said one of the bullies. "Frisk," said Azrael, crying. "Did you made my little brother cry?" asked Frisk, anger. "What if we did, furry?" asked a different bully. "I will ask a better question. Do you want to have a bad time?" asked Frisk, opening her eyes, which were green colored. "Eh?" "Because I swear that if you do not get away from him right now, you will not like what will happen to you," said Frisk in a threatening tone. "Who do you think you are? Sick 'em, boys," said the one that seemed like the leader. After that, the other 9 tried to attack, but Frisk dodged all the attacks as if they were nothing, and then clapped the fingers, and a fire circle surrounded the 9, making them unable to move. "What the devil?" "Now desist this, or I must continue. And you, Azrael, until when are you going to pretend to be weak? You are a male princess. At least do something to honor Denmer name." "I'm sorry, Frisk, but I do not enjoy the fightings," said Azrael, standing up when used blue magic to throw the leader several miles ahead through a window from his position. "Finally, you do something, little brother. Now what will you do if that leader has fallen?" said Frisk the Circe. "We surrender, liberate us, and we promise not to bully your little brother ever again," said one of the 9 after them all. "Very good. Leave before I change my opinion," said Frisk, snapping her fingers and dismantling the fire circle. After that, the bullies ran away. After that, Frisk and Azrael came back home. Chapter 2. Chara shows up. Once home, Azrael and Frisk go in and went straight to the dining hall because they could smell that Toriel was cooking one of her delicious cakes. Once there, they approached her. "Greetings, mother, we have arrived," said them both at the same time. "Greeting, my children." "I didn't hear you enter the house," said Toriel. "That was the plan. We wanted to enter and snatch the cake to eat, but you have not yet finished it," said Frisk. "At this age, do you continue with these shenanigans?" said Toriel beratingly. "Sorry, but your cakes are delicious, so we cannot avoid it," said Azrael. "I see. Tell me, how was school?" asked Toriel. They could not lie to their mother, so they said the truth. That made her be the whorings. "Oh my, tomorrow I will go talk to your school about that with your father," said Toriel. "No, it's necessary, Mom. It will be worse," said both. "But I cannot stand idle if someone messes with my son," said Toriel the serious. "Who messed with my brother?" asked a voice with anger, but apparently only Frisk and Azrael could hear it, which upset them. If it was her open the problems, many problems, and big one. "Listen, Mom, it's not necessary. Really, we have it under control, but we thank your preoccupation. Now we must go do the homework, right, brother?" "Yes, let's go upstairs to do it," said Azrael. "Oh, I see. Go, my children," said Toriel. After this, they both went upstairs to Frisk's room. Once there, they locked the doors with a lock. "Chara, we know you're here. Show yourself," said Frisk, opening the eyes and with lots of determination. "Well, Frisk, we see each other again. I see that you've grown," said Chara, that was levitating over Frisk. "Yes, and you too. You have the appearing of someone of 19 years, said Frisk. "Chara, is that you?" asked Azrael. Chapter 3. do you know what a ghost is on the surface? Author's note. In this chapter, the Charisk begins. Yes, hello, Azrael. You've grown. Come approach me, said Chara, going down to the floor. Azrael tries to approach, but Frisk stops him, with blue magic separating him from Chara with a serious gaze, an overprotector. Frisk, what are you doing? Asked Azrael. Remember that she is the one that made you turn into Flowey. Also, she's not to be trusted. She could not possess your body and force you to do bad things. She's tried to do that with me, said Frisk the serious. This is true. What are you planning to do, Chara? Asked Azrael. I see that you're cautious, but relax, Frisk. I will not possess him, said Chara. Why is that? I do not trust your words, asked Frisk. If I wanted to possess him, you wouldn't be able to avoid it. I am Chara Dunmer, Satan that shows up when she's called, said Chara, putting on her demon face. Yes, yes, whatever, Chara, but you will soon learn that on the surface things are a little different than underground, said Frisk, buttering a funny face. What do you mean? Do you know what a ghost is on the surface? Asked Frisk. A ghost on the surface is... Oh no, please no, don't do that, said Chara. Correct, Chara, a ghost on the surface is a grieving soul that has left an unaccomplished life goal, and because that will not rest. So do not want to have a bad time, said Frisk. Frisk, don't do it, Mom will find out. Check, please, said Azrael. I have already taken care of that. I've stopped time in the house, but only for 10 minutes. But it's enough time for this, said Frisk, pointed her hand towards Chara, who stopped being a floating red coloring entity to a blue entity. Shit! After this, Frisk started using blue magic to smash Chara again and again against the walls, the floor, and the ceiling, and it did, for 10 minutes. When those ended, Frisk stopped, but couldn't let Chara go. Do you understand what will happen if you try to do something stupidity, friend? Asked male Frisk, seriously, with a threatening gaze. Frisk has the was question mark. And then she say I am the monster, said Chara. The bleeding? Wait, with it what I'm bleeding? That's easy to explain, Chara. While you do not have soul, you're here because your determination, which is why there must be a speck of your soul inside of you, which is why you're a relatively alive bone. I can make a lot of damage while we're up here, grieving soul. You goddamn son of a... Chara, listen. Mother adopted Frisk, said Azrael serious. Damn! I couldn't even insult you. I really despise you, said Chara. This is not what you said the last time you talked in Underground, Chara. Besides, if you don't do any stupidity, I could bring you back, the same as you were with Gaster, said Frisk, serious. Chara remembered that she said to Frisk when she was about to leave the Underground, blushes, and a few words resonate in her mind. You are very pretty, and then thanks God. Fucking damn, you son of an absolute bitch. I thought I had forgotten. Wait, what do you mean with bringing back Gaster? Asked Chara. You heard Sans, Alphys, and I are trying to make him return to this world, said Frisk. Listen, Frisk, I know you're good and all, but what the hell are you thinking? Gaster's much worse than me. Solitude has affected his mind, and he's a little bit shifting, said Chara, then shivering. How do you know? Asked Azrael. Azrael, you may not remember it, but I do. He's the one that kick-started the soul gathering, said Chara. We'll see about that, Chara. But now, I don't want to destroy Alphys's hopes. She loves him, and San misses him very much, said Frisk. Yes, if you ask the sack of bones, you'll see that I'm right. He was the one who sent him here where he is now, even if that was by accident, said Chara, serious. Chapter 4, Memories and Decisions. Frisk didn't know if she should believe Chara or not. After all, she caused many problems in the underground. But she's also great company, since even if she made friends, she could not enjoy a lot time seeing them since she came out there. Also, the last words that Chara dedicated to her when she left, she remembers them clearly. Flashback. Look, Frisk, in the end you did not pay attention to me and you had freed everyone, but yet still it was nice traveling with you. I thank the fact that you saved my little brother, said Chara. Chara, why are you being so nice to me? Do you perhaps want to possess my body? Said Frisk. I don't you even think about Chara, said Sans, and his left eye started glowing blue. No, was thinking that really sack of bones. If I tried to do it, it would end with my absolute death. Don't you believe that you're the only one conscious about different timelines? Said Chara, serious. I see. Then I'll go, Gabriel. We'll see each other later, Frisk, said Sans. He teleported. So what did you wanted to say, Chara? Asked Frisk, was curious. You're a very pretty girl, and I thank you that you paid attention to what I told you. The killing does not go with you. Besides, you've freed all the monsters that may still kill each other, said Char, trying to pretend that this is not thinking she was thinking about. Did you call me pretty? Asked Frisk. I. Goodbye, said Chara, shamefully, and vanished. End of flashback. After her memory, she decided to trust Chara. It's okay. When I see him, I'll ASL him now. Let's go. Mother's pie must be ready, said Frisk. Wait, will she come too? Asked Azrael. Yes, but there will be problems now everyone can see her, because I keep her here with my magic and my determination. That's a very grave problem. Frisk's mom and dad believe she's dead, said Azrael. Yeah, it's true. Mother and father still remember her, and seeing her as a ghost not be good for them, said Frisk. What can we do? Asked Azrael. Frisk thought of a way, but it would be more like replication since she saw it in another timeline, but didn't know how it ended since she didn't knew how it happened in the first place either. But luckily, children dead, and I will go visit Undine and Papyrus. You're in charge of the house. I left you a cake on the living room, yelled Toriel from underneath the stairs. Understood, mother, and thank you, said Azrael. We're ready for today, and tomorrow, and after tomorrow, but Monday will be a problem, said Frisk, the preoccupied. Yes, we must go back to school, but we can't with Chara as a ghost, said Azrael. Can you go do me a favor for calling Sans and Alphys, Azrael, said Frisk. Yes, of course. What do you want me to tell them? Asked Azrael, putting out his cell phone. Tell them to come as soon as possible, said Frisk. Chapter 5. The Real Feeling of Frisk and Chara. Author's note. Warning, this chapter is a high dose of Charisk. Read under your own risk. Don't know what that means. After Azrael called Sans and Alphys, they told him they would come in a while, so they took that chance to go down and have supper. Once they arrived at the dining hall, they saw that the cake Toriel had left, then that was cake and chocolate, and Chara was slobbering. Chocolate is mine, said Chara, but before she did it, Frisk opened her eyes. What do you think you're doing? Said Frisk, putting a scary look. Nothing, nothing. Besides, I cannot interact with silverware, right? Said Chara, begging for the inside that Frisk didn't slam her against the wall. Understood. Azrael, I know that you asked a lot of things from you today, but I need to keep Chara under my domino? So can you bring something to drink? Said Frisk. Yes, what do you want? Asked Azrael. A you would be okay, asked Frisk. What do you want? Chara asked Azrael. I cannot interact with objects. Wait, did you say I could eat? But how will you do it if I cannot interact with objects? Said Azrael. I already have a plan for this, said Frisk, a little bit blushed. After this, Azrael went to prepare drinks, leaving Chara and Frisk alone in the dining hall. And Chara, where have you been until today? Asked Frisk, began cutting the cake. And what the fuck do you care about that? Question mark, asked Chara. Listen, Chara, I know we're very different, but really the first nights outside the underground, I couldn't sleep. I didn't felt safe alone after all. I was long time down there, and you were by my side regardless of your objections. I felt safe with you, said Frisk, avoiding visual contact. What the blazes are you saying, stupid? Asked Chara, blushing. Yes, it sounds weird, but it's true. Despite you wanting to possess my body and using it towards your ends, with you on my side I felt secure, said Frisk, taking a slice of cake and shoving it inside of her face hole as her spork. The moths, what we spent together, down there regardless of the fact that my objections failed. We were the better ones because I was by your side, Frisk, said Frisk in a whisper, but Frisk heard her, but played dumb. Hey, do you want cake, Frisk? Yes, dog. Close your eyes, open your mouth, said Frisk, stabbing with her spork a piece of cake. What? Just do it, said Frisk. Very well. Don't be a nagging bitch. Chara, closing her eyes, opened her mouth face. After that, Frisk force-fed her spork. She opened her eyes when she saw it was like a red little tomato. Frisk, did you? Yes, I fed you in the face hole with my spork. It will like be a... Don't even say it, said Chara, putting on her demon face. An indirect kiss, said Frisk. I'll kill you somehow, I will, said Chara, blushing and angry at the same time. Excuse me, but I could not resist your face. It's very pretty when you get angry, said Frisk. The laugh. Chara blushed and thought to herself, her couple power comes out of cumulative limits. It is too pretty if it continues. I will go insane. Chara, are you okay? Your muzzle is way too red, said Frisk. Yes, everything's okay, said Chara, trying to avoid visual contact, but Frisk pulled her down from the air and put her beside her, and takes her face to see into her eyes. Are you sure? Frisk said, preoccupied. Chara became even redder still. Damned, her couple powers is increasing until infinite. I can't hold it anymore. I have to. After this, Chara tried to kiss Frisk on the lips, but heard Azrael's footsteps and had to stop. It would be better we continued some other time, my princess, said Frisk in a whisper, but Chara heard her, but didn't have time to think. In them, she distanced quickly from Frisk. I'm sorry for the tardiness, said Azrael. Don't worry, said Frisk. After this, she left his cup and Frisk on the table, and they started drinking and eating cake. Chara also wanted it, but it would be shameful, even for her, that Frisk force-fed her spawn in a fortnight of his brother. Frisk did no eye, so she used blue magic to lift up a spork and feed her with it. After they finished, Sans and Alphys showed up. Chapter 6. Chara's Return. Author's Note. None of the images are about to see belong to me. Author's Note 2. I know I said this was going to be a Charisk Yuri, but that doesn't mean all the chapters are about this. Like every other amazing story, Young Tale needs plot, otherwise it would be boring, and I would have to cancel that, and we don't want that, do we, don't we? Hello, Azrael. Why have you summoned us? Said Sans, entering La House. Oh yes, Frisk, we'll explain in the dining hall, said Azrael. After that, Asriel flew with Alphys and Sans towards the dining hall, where Frisk was sitting eating cake next to Chara, but neither Alphys nor Sans recognized her older aspect. Hello, Sans. Alphys, how are you? Asked Frisk. Hello, who is your friend? Asked Sans. Have you forgotten me, bonehead? Said Chara in a mocking tone. Honey, asked Azrael, and go as far away as you can from this room, said Sans. Well, hi, asked Alphys. Because this is about to become hardcore, said Sans, and his left eye started shining blue with a little flame. Sans, if you calm the fuck down, you see I have her under control, said Frisk, opening her eyes with a threatening face. What are you saying? Asked Sans, a little bit fritten. Look, Chara is blue color, she normally red color, even if you cannot really see it because of her semi-physical form, said Frisk. You are right, said Sans, a little bit more tranquil after observing a little. So why did you call us? I want you to help me bring her back, said Frisk, decided. What? Are you insane? Frisk, he's dangerous, said Sans. He's right, he's very dangerous, said Alphys. That said, our parents miss her at the moment, and I don't want to see my authority as a male princess to make you do it, said Azrael, seriously going with Frisk. And what, Toriel and Asgore don't know capable is she? Listen, Sans, I know you don't want to do it, but it won't be the same with him. Does she mean Gaster? Asked Frisk. How do you know? Asked Sans. She told me, signaling Chara with her head. Besides, it's easier to control her alive than as a ghost. If we do this, Sans, I promise you that When the time is right, I'll try everything in my power to save him, said Frisk. Okay, we'll do it now, said Sans. What? Asked Elphys. We're bringing her back. It will be a good test for when we find my father, and Frisk can control Chara, right? Asked Sans. Yes, I swear. For my father and my title of female princess, I assume all responsibility over her and her actions, said Frisk, serious and very determination. Let's go to the lab. With the knowledge we should have it possible to bring the spoon again with all the determination hand. Same as Frisk, said Sans. Yes, maybe we'll be able to. The last theory we formulated could bring her back, said Alphys. Theory? Wait, you're using me like a lab rat, said Chara, preoccupied. A theory's better than nothing. Would you not like having your own body? Asked Frisk. Yes, it would be okay, I guess, said Chara. Besides, if something wrong happens, which will probably not, I'll just load an older save to avoid this happening. You can trust me, Chara, said Frisk. Yes, if you say so, I believe you, Frisk. Chara very blushing, but only Sans and Frisk noticed that. So is it done? I'll save her, said Frisk, and a voice told her. Knowing you are about to do an experiment that can bring back someone important to you fills you with determination. Done, said Frisk, a little bit ashamed. Then let's go to the lab, said Sans. Let's, us. El shortcut? Asked Frisk. Okay, girl, said Sans, and approaching Elphys, she touched her in the shoulder and snapped her fingers and vanished. I hate it when he does that, said Chara. Ha ha! Now you hang in to me, said Frisk. Both abided them and snapped my fingers to disappear and appear in the lab. That was amazing, said Azrael. Several weeks went by, but they managed to bring her back, thanks to some magic, determination, and Frisk's desire to bring her back at that moment. Chara goes to school with her. Toriel and Asgore still can't believe she's back, but they've already gotten used to her presence. They fear she hasn't shown any intention of damaging them. End of Volume 1. Shout out to Snooky, who translated this masterpiece from Spanish. Without you, none of this horrible fan fiction could be possible to be read in English.